This video covers how to set up an event in the BCG Event Manager. After you have created your event, added hotels and rooms and the room capacities, and after you have arranged the rooms on the grid and published open meeting times, the next step is to check and adjust your email templates. If you're unfamiliar with the concept of a template is an email that has been pre-written and is ready to have items plugged into it. For example, the user's first name and last name, for example, the meeting start time and end time, and other elements. So, in order to see the email templates, click on Configure and Email. This video is going to cover the basic templates, but in a separate video I will talk about adding new and specialty email templates. So let's start from the top and understand what these email templates are used for. The first item, the calendar meeting, you should ignore. This is a technical email template with a specialty use for putting the meeting time on someone's Outlook calendar. The second one, called the charge code template, is used for notifying users when they have a charge code problem. So let's take a look at it. You can see the name of it is charge code, and you can see in the from area that it's not a normal email address. It says open brace, that's an open curly brace, affair.email from. The word affair is code for the current event that you're talking about. In this case, I'm on the event called Austin event. Then the dot means for that particular event, look for an item called email from. Where is that email from coming from? In other words, when this email is created and sent, what's going to be plugged in to that affair.email from? I'll show you. I'm going to cancel out of this for now. We'll return in just a moment. And I'm going to go to Configure Events. And the event that I'm currently on, called the Austin event, I'm going to edit it. Right here, this from line is what will be plugged in. And it tells you, in email templates, you can use affair.email from to cause whatever this value is to show up. Now I've left this value blank, and in that case an intelligent default is going to be used. In this case, it's going to be that emails will originate from wam@bcg.com. But for example, for the email contact text, it's also informing me that I can use affair.emailcontact. And anytime that appears, it will automatically be substituted with this text. If you have any question, contact Ken Demarest. Likewise with affair.email signature, it will always say, thanks, Ken Demarest. That is one source of the data that gets plugged into the emails. Now I'm returning to the email template screen. Let's jump into that charge code email again. Again, this is sent when someone has a problem with their charge code. It will originate from the address affair.email from, in this case wam@bcg.com, and it will be sent to user.email. That is, the email address of the relevant user who is having a problem with their charge code. The subject line will read incorrect charge codes for the, and again, these are one of these plug-in fields. In this case, affair.name. Remember, affair stands for the event. So this will say incorrect charge codes for the Austin event, which is the name field of my event. And then the email will start, dear user.firstname, user.lastname. So if it was being sent to a user named Bob Smith, it would say, dear Bob Smith, comma. The following meetings have charge code issues. And then this charge code problem.list is a special field that the application puts together that lists all of the known charge code problems for a person. And then it says to them, please visit a certain URL to make corrections at your earliest convenience. And it ends with this affair.email signature. And you might recall that when we were looking at this particular event, there was a signature line. So this is going to say, thanks, comma, Ken Demarest. That is very briefly how the email template system works. And each email template is sent by the program at a certain time. There are two other things worth noting. First, if you make changes to this and it's not going well or you have any kind of problem, definitely click on the support tab and you can speak to the person who can provide support. Or if you simply want to revert this to its default state, so for example, if I accidentally and wrongly put in a bunch of stuff here, I can say, hey, use the default email template, and it will restore it to its original state. And finally, if you have done a lot of customization of your email templates, and you've done this in some other event before, and you want to use that email template, you can click on Copy Email Template from Event. And it will give you a list of all the other events, and it will copy this same charge code email template from that event to this one. So if, for example, for the Dublin WOM 2, I had made a lot of custom changes that I really liked and I wanted to keep, I would click on Copy Template from Event, and I would select Dublin WOM 2, and I would click on OK, and it would copy over. So I haven't made any changes here, so I'm going to cancel out. And let me walk through the remaining email templates. The food and beverage template, this is sent to people when they need to know the details of a certain food and beverage event that they are part of or organizing. The meeting created template, every time a new meeting is created either in the meeting request screen or on the grid, this is sent to the organizer. And if the room is visible, it will also be sent to the partner. It says, dear meeting organizer first name, organizer last name. This email acknowledges that you created a new meeting with the ID such and such for a certain event, and it will list all of the information about that event. And there's one additional interesting thing in this template that you might not find in others. This syntax, open brace question mark, is used for testing conditions. So if there is not any audio video present in this meeting, it will simply say audio video and the word none. If there is audio video of any kind, it will list all of the audio video items here. This simply makes the email easier to read. A similar technique is used for food and beverage and in a number of other areas. If this syntax doesn't feel comfortable or familiar, consult someone you know who is familiar with programming or the IT department. Finally, at the end of the email, it says, for any updates, please update your meeting by visiting a certain URL where they can change their meeting request. And it finishes with the affair.email contact. Once again, this is what we saw in Configure Event. And it says something like, if you have any questions or concerns, please contact so-and-so. and it ends with the email signature, which is something like "Thank you very much, comma, Ken Demarest." That's for meeting created. Meeting tomorrow is fired off when the meeting is about to happen. Literally, it's going to happen tomorrow, and so it warns people, hey, your meeting's about to occur. It's just a reminder. This email confirms your meeting such and such for the affair.name, which is Austin event, and it simply tells them all of the statistics of their meeting. Meeting updated tells you that the meeting, a certain meeting that you are either the organizer for or partner for, has been changed. This is by far the most complicated template, and it contains the most programming. You can see that it has numerous conditionals determining whether the meeting has been deleted, and that was the change, or if it has not been deleted. It will also tell you, here's what the meeting's name was, but it will also tell you the meeting's name as it used to be if that was the change that was made. So if I changed the meeting from my meeting to my second meeting, this would say the name is my meeting, but it was my, it will say the name is my second meeting, but it was called my meeting. It'll tell you any changes to the start date and time, the end date and time, the organizer, and so on and so on and so forth, all the way through the entire meeting. Again, this is quite complicated and technical. Feel free to consult with someone with programming experience. When a meeting room is made visible to the organizer by the administrators, this email is sent. Meeting ID such and such has been assigned to the room, whatever the room list. It might be a single room or multiple rooms, and it will tell you what hotel it ended up in. This information is hidden under normal circumstances to decrease confusion before hotel and room assignments for meetings. The room made visible is the last standard email. Everything starting with SRM is used by a different section of the program that doesn't have to do with meeting creation. And again, the add new email template will be covered in a different video. Thank you very much for watching. The next video will be how to make a test meeting to make sure that your event is fully set up correctly, and then you'll have an event that is in fact fully set up.